everyone, it's Lisa and Laurie here with another weekly homework discussion. And with us this week is special guest Sasha. Hi, Sasha.
Hi.
Hey. So thanks for joining us, everyone. We're here to talk about what's happening in the cross-stitching challenge world this week. As usual, there's quite a lot happening, isn't there, Laurie?
Yes, busy.
And sorry we didn't have last week. We just had, diabolical personal life things happening last week. Sometimes you miss us, but the good thing about Daily 30 is you've got 2 weeks to do the challenges. So we're going to start with last week's Daily 30, which is still available for another week if you want to catch up on that. So tell us all about Daily 30, Laurie.
Okay, it's Sunflower Week, and that started back on September 10th, and it runs through September 24th. And it ends at 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So that's good amount of time through Friday. So the first prompt is stitch on a whip with insects. Oh, let me tell you what the stitch count is. So 300 stitches are 3 hours for 3 tokens, 400 stitches are 4 hours for 4 tokens. And then there is a bonus at the end. So the first prompt is stitch on a whip with an insect.
Okay. You're up. Want me to go first, Sasha?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, I am a good girl and I have already done my insect stitching. I'm going to show you on the phone because there is a dragonfly. D is for dragonfly on my drawn thread alphabet sampler. So that worked out beautifully for me because I had to stitch on it anyway for Crystal Academy. And I was able to do a lovely double dip across with my insect. So D is for dragonfly, which is an insect. We had quite a lot of really cool discussions about what actually qualifies as an insect. Sasha, any insects from you?
I don't think I have any insects. I keep a low number of whips, and the limited number I have, I don't think any of them have an insect.
Okay, well, that's an alternate stitches for you.
Yep.
And I have a double dip with Crystal Academy. This was my spell study for this past week. And so the crickets here are holding on for dear life, and one's surfing the wind and stormy. So those are my insects.
It's so cute.
So the next prompt is number 2, stitch on a whip with something that can be used for cleaning.
Cleaning, okay. There's lots of things that you could use for cleaning. And again, we have no jurisdiction on knowing whether these answers are right or wrong. But I decided that for cleaning, I wanted to look at this one. My postage stamps. Because there's palm trees. And I feel like palm fronds are quite good for sweeping.
It's very creative.
It is.
I don't know how many whips you have with a bottle of Jif or something in it.
Well, I actually have a really good one because I have Fantasia, and so it's got all those brooms that have been brought to life.
Yes, fair enough.
Okay, I'm going to go at a stretch, but they say if you explain it, then it might work. So Language of Flowers has a lot of flowers, and traditionally crushed flowers, if they're not used for at least cleaning, they're used for like making things smell good as you're cleaning. So
well, you could also possibly take the alternative of some of those vases you could use to put the water in to do your cleaning with too, maybe.
That's true. That's true.
So think a little bit outside the box.
There you go. I'm going to try to explain the heck out of it. Okay, number 3, stitch on a whip that makes you happy and explain why.
Well, this is a really hard one to choose because something that makes me happy, well, pretty much all my stitching makes me happy. So that makes it hard to choose. But what I decided to do was see, well, what else did I what did I need to work on at the same time? And again, you're going to have to go to my phone for this, but I actually was working on my Among Us pattern, and it makes me happy because it's bright and colorful. Plus I enjoy playing it with my kids. So
Very nice. So stitching on my Herbularius by Chatelaine makes me very happy. It's a gift from my husband, and it's just a joy to stitch with the silks.
yes, there you go. Lovely.
That is nice. This is hard for me because I'm with Lisa. Everything makes me happy. But I have to say, what makes me just smile as I'm stitching on it, I hope so, is the gnome. They're just so cute. It just makes me happy looking at it.
He is. He's just super adorable. I can't wait to see him stitched.
Yes. So the next one, number 4, stitch on a whip with the sun visible in the pattern.
Okay. I have lots of moons, not too many suns, but I do have this one. My good old Anzac. The long dog has this great big sun here. So Anzac's a winner for me.
So I don't know if this one would count, but you can definitely see a sunset here. But I don't see like a round sun.
No.
So I don't know.
Oh, hold on. Put it back. Put it back.
Like right behind Mickey.
No, I'm thinking I can see the sun up near the tower. Or is that just a reflection in your iPad?
Oh, up on this side here?
Yeah, I feel like I can
No,
see the
I
sun.
think it's behind where Mickey is.
Oh, okay.
Like it's setting in the sky.
Yeah.
But I think the edges are kind of obscured by the vegetation.
Yeah. Oh, well, you could give it a try. But
That's the closest I have to actually seeing the sun.
I have World Travel bookshelf has the sun right behind the pyramid.
Oh, yes. That
for sure.
comes in so handy for you, Laurie.
It does. It's just a confetti mess though. But it's nice. Number 5, stitch on a whip with 2 or more parallel items.
Okay, so parallel, for those people who don't know, means going in the same direction. So parallel items, I thought I might do Alice because she has the curtains are parallel, plus the archway poles are parallel.
Yeah.
So I feel like I could get away with her for that reason.
So I think I would do the Hawaiian Islands because at the top and the bottom on the border, it's the names of each island repeated, and then there's a parallel line above and below that.
Yep. I agree. I would do One Nation. Of course, the stripes in the American flag are parallels.
Definitely. Plus the diagonals in the stars.
Oh yeah, they're parallel too. That's right. That is right. Okay, the bonus. So no alternate stitches on this, no build a challenge or anything like that. For 10 tokens, which is huge, stitch 500 stitches on a whip with a sunflower in the design. You don't have to stitch on the sunflower itself. It just has to have a sunflower in the design.
So this was really troubling me. The old me would have just gone and started a piece with a sunflower, but I'm in NoNewStarts, can't do that. And I was surprised that none of my autumn pieces had sunflowers in them. I know I used to have, I think it was Summer from Cricket Collection had my sunflower, but I finished that. So I was thinking I was going to have to forgo the 10 bonus points until Laurie and I were waiting for Sasha, and we went looking. And look what we found in my supply. Brooks Books. Year of Cakes. Bottom left,
There you have it.
sunflower. So really good that I've still got a week to get this bonus done because 10 tokens is great. How many stitches do I need to do on it?
A 500.
500. Okay, just so I can make sure I do that. So I will be working on the cakes this week.
Well, I might actually consider starting this one for that, since I'm not in No New Starts this year.
Yes. Oh yes, look at those sunflowers.
I love that.
Well, 10 tokens is worth starting something for, I must
It
say.
might be, yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful. So back to world travel, and I know you've seen it, but the sunflowers here just below the bridge.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Stop sharing. Okay, well, of course you have the daily 30, but you stitch 30 minutes a day in consecutive days. That's already passed. That window's already passed. But the new week coming out, which we're going to go over, does have a daily 30 that you could still get in on. And so the week of this current week that started September 17th, and it runs through, let me pull it up so I can talk intelligently, through October 1st. So September 17th through October 1st is Gratitude Week. And this is a fairly easy week. The stitch counts are 100 stitches or 1 hour for 2 tokens, 200 stitches or 2 hours for 4 tokens. Only 5 prompts plus the daily 30. So that's good. So basically all of the 5 prompts are stitching for items that you're grateful for. You can do the same whip, you just have to pick a different thing that you're grateful for.
Yes. All right, well for me, I just fitted it in with what I was wanting to stitch on. So I was working on a very scary Halloween mini series, and I am grateful for pumpkins because I love eating roast pumpkin. So I'm very grateful that there are roast pumpkins that I can have a beautiful roast with my family.
So what are multiple items, Lisa, that you're grateful for in that? Like, how would you use that for several items?
I'll do that in my next one because my next one covers the other 4.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I love to work outside, so this makes me think about being out in the garden. So I'm grateful to have a nice yard and garden to be able to enjoy.
Do you want me to jump to my next one, Laurie, then to show you?
Yes.
Okay. So then I was changing whips. So I changed to this one, which is Strawberry Fields by Blackbird Designs. And I am grateful for 4 things here. I'm grateful to have a really nice house to live in. I'm grateful for strawberries because I like eating strawberries. I'm grateful for beautiful birds that help pollinate the flowers and make beautiful music. And I thought I was grateful for this big safe fence and gate because I live in a really nice safe neighborhood, and I'm grateful that I live in a safe neighborhood. There you go. There's my multiples. So I did 4 of them out of that piece.
That's awesome.
Yeah. What about you, Laurie?
I am going to my favorite whip, which is As the Leaves Turn. And so a few things here that I'm grateful for would be the harvest. Fall is a season in America to celebrate being thankful, and it centers around the harvest. So there's a big harvest here. And I'm also thankful for my pet. So there's a little doggy here, and I have a little doggy that I'm very grateful for. I am grateful for being able to buy what I need. And this store kind of symbolizes all of the goods you need. And anyone around the world going through the pandemic has had a shortage of some kind. And so I'm thankful for being able to get what I need. And I'm also thankful to live in an area that there is somewhat of a season. I love fall. And I like it when the trees turn, and I have trees around me and they're just beautiful when they turn. So those are my things.
Do you know there's sunflowers in that one too, Laurie?
I didn't even notice.
So you can do that one for your sunflowers.
Yes.
Being your favorite whip and all.
Thank you.
So there we go. So it's a really easy week in Daily 30 this week.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's jump across to Supernatural. Supernatural, as usual, there's a lot of prompts. Don't have to do them all. It's about you stitching however many hundreds you want to stitch to build up your stash pile so that you can go shopping at the end of the year or or whatever. And I think, you know, Luke does a great job of coming up with all these prompts every single week. So we are on, just getting to it, it dropped out. Season 5, episode 9, The Real Ghostbusters. Number 1, stitch on a project that is one of a series or one that you've stitched before. I feel like we've had that prompt recently.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I could do this one since I restarted it. So I'd say I've stitched it before
Yes,
my pansy
Yes.
wreaths.
Perfect.
that would fit.
I would do the gnomes because it's one of a series. So this fella here is one of 12.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to show you mine again, but my Strawberry Fields Forever is one of the Magical Mystery Tour series by Blackbird Designs.
Mhm.
So that would work. Stitch on a project that includes something that could be used as a weapon.
Used as a weapon.
Look, anything with a stick, anything with a tree.
Well, I think I would probably go back to Fantasia and those brooms.
Yes.
Mhm. I would do grounding force, and she has scissors and a needle, which I can
Oh,
use as a weapon.
Well, don't die of shock. Village of Hawk Run Hollow. Horseshoes. I feel like they'd make a really good weapon
Oh, yeah.
to go over the head with.
Yes.
I'm trying to think apart from the sticks, which is my obvious thought. Okay, stitch on a project that includes adult figures or you plan to give as a gift.
Well, I would work on sorry, this is a little blurry. That's why I'm trying to find one that's less
Is this the one I'm thinking
a
of?
better image. Yeah. Let's see.
It's exactly what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Storybook Village. And I'm trying to find where you can see the people well enough, but it's you know, in the scene there are people walking along all along the
Yep.
oh, sorry, I just lost it. But
There are people walking around and they're adults.
there are people walking along in front of all those houses.
Yep. That's exactly what came to my mind. So I'm ditto.
And there are two people sitting and fishing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Laurie?
As the leaves turn, they have the adults talking outside of the store. So
Okay, next one. Stitch on a project that indicates theatre or a dramatic environment.
Looks like Fantasia is getting a lot of work this week, but I feel like this is a pretty dramatic scene.
Yes. And it is in a film,
Yes.
in a movie.
Mhm. Okay, I'm going to show this because I think this is what I'm seeing. This looks like a theater in the balcony, maybe.
Oh, yes,
I know
it
that's
does.
over, but it does. So,
It looks
That's
like
what
a
I'm
scene
going
out of Phantom of the Opera, actually.
okay. So, yeah. Okay.
Well, what jumped to my mind for this one was my Among Us, because everyone's acting a part in the game and they're wearing silly hats, like they're wearing a costume. Plus it's dramatic because you go around killing people. It's like a big Murder in the Dark game. So
Mhm.
that's what came up to mind for me for that, but that's going to totally ruin my next plan. Because the next one is stitch on a project that references a movie or outer space.
A movie or outer space.
Yes.
I think Fantasia is really the only one oh no, I have the Harry Potter crest.
There you go. That would get you.
But I
Yes.
don't have a picture that I'm
That's
able
all
to
right.
color
Harry
this
Harry
time, and I'm
Potter
having some
Quest would
technical
definitely be a
issues.
movie. Yes.
Yeah.
I think I'd have to pass.
Mm-hmm. I'm quite
Oh.
sure you could probably fit your little lake riverside one into a movie somewhere.
Maybe, or they get cracking for like 10,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Yeah,
Ish.
Yeah.
worth a try. I mean, this is a very relaxed group, so
Yeah.
you could do that. Well, I'm going to maybe drag out the Disney
Oh,
because
yeah.
there's a whole bunch of movies.
Oh yeah.
So that would be the way to reference a movie for that, because otherwise I was thinking about doing Outer Space would be my Among Us. Okay, stitch on a project that includes a map or directions.
Oh, that one's easy for me because I have my map of the Hawaiian Islands.
Yes, you've got that one really easily.
Yeah. No disputing it.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that one.
I don't think this would count, but the closest thing, oh, I can't stitch on it. I would have been fine if I was still doing my sampler. What do you think
Oh,
about
yeah.
Pretty Little Sydney? Because that is a bit like a
Is
map.
that like a compass rose on the right hand side? Like behind the opera house?
Well, it's maybe not, but you could say it is. But I was also thinking like they've laid the buildings out like a map, like it's
Yeah.
like a, a street directory sort of
Yeah.
map. They're not necessarily accurate, but
Mhm.
yeah, that's a hard one. But again, you don't have to do them all. Okay. Stitch on a project with a border, all which uses metallic threads.
Well, Herbularius does both.
It does, yes.
It checks both those boxes.
Mhm. I would say the same thing about the lumber garden. It has borders within borders, and it does have metallic thread as well.
And I would actually think Alice, because she uses metallic threads a hell of a lot of it, and that's the bit I've still got to do.
Mhm.
Stitch on a project which has been interrupted that you haven't worked on for at least 6 months. Ooh, I divulged a few of these in my last video.
I don't think I really have any.
No, you're very monogamous, so that's not
I
really.
do. The Zimmerman coverlet for me, I probably am going to restart it. So because I started at 1/1 and I liked it, but it was like a hard stitch anyway. In a
Well,
year.
I think for me, I'm trying to work out what I'm stitching on this week anyway. My Macintosh mill,
Oh yeah.
I haven't worked on that for 6 months. And
Oh,
so
that's cute.
yeah, it's an option that I could pull it out and give it some love maybe.
Yeah, I had that one hanging in my house. I love that.
Yeah, looking forward to getting that one done.
Mhm.
Oh, here we go. You just said you were going to restart something. Stitch on a project with a fresh perspective, a new start. So Sasha's already going to start the one with the sunflowers. Laurie's restarting her coverlet. And for me, I am not fresh starting anything, but I did just restart my Big Red Ship of Life, so I could work on that if I wanted to. Nearly there. The words we don't need to talk about, but the letter, the title, the design company, blah, blah, blah. We have guns and we'll find you. So there's lots of letters there to find a name of a piece or a designer or a design company that starts with any of the letters in that sentence. And lucky last, stitch on a project with a unicorn chart that you searched for a long time. So do you have a unicorn chart that you actually have found?
And you mean a chart with a unicorn?
No,
This
no,
isn't
it
a
means
euphemism.
stitch on your unicorn chart. Have you found one of your unicorns?
Like it's your special one that's hard to find that you really wanted.
See, for me, it's actually the fairy tale town.
That's the one it would be for me. I know that the Fantasia one is a unicorn for many people, but my husband actually gave me that one when you could just go to the store and buy it. And so it didn't come to me that through that pathway.
Okay, so that's supernatural. Now, there is another group that we've mentioned before, but not for a little while, called Mythological Stitchers. And Mythological Stitchers had a little break and then did a rejig fairly recently. And it turns out that they're actually doing a weekly stitching option at the moment. So I thought I'd better tell you about it. And they're doing cryptids A to Z, and we're in week 4 of that. So basically they're going through the letters of the alphabet and giving you mythological creatures. Q is for Aquilin, which is a mythical hoofed chimerical creature known in Chinese and other East Asian cultures, said to appear with the imminent arrival or passing of a sage or illustrious ruler. So it starts with Q. Stitch 200 stitches or 2 hours on a project with grass or something with hoofs. So I can instantly double dip that with my fairy tale town because it has that horse-drawn cart. Yes, sorry, look, Sasha, stealing your thunder.
You did.
Yep, it's got grass and hoofs. What
Yes.
about you, Laurie?
As the leaves turn, same reason.
Yeah.
Grass and hooves.
And we want to double dip these, you know, we don't want extra stitching. Okay, the next one is R is for Ratman of Southend. The Ratman of Southend is a local legend originating in the town of Southend-on-Sea, Essex. So 200 stitches on a project that has something in it with nails or a tail.
Well, my Hogwarts crest, the lion has a tail on the Gryffindor.
Same as the leaves turn, keep trucking on that.
I can say the dog has a tail.
Mhm.
Well, for me, I haven't mentioned this one yet this week, but I'm pretty sure this is my crystal one for this week. So I need to work on Amazing Animal Kingdom bookshelf. I bet you
I think you could probably find a tail on there.
Look, the whale tail for starters.
Yes.
I think I'm right with the tail. And nails. Something would have nails on their fingers
Yeah.
too, but no. Okay, S is for, and by the way, I'm sure my pronunciations are horrible. Sorry. S is for Sumski Dekle, forest girls, forest maid or woodland lasses of wild women of Croatia. So a project that has something that screams or shrieks.
I would do Nevermore. Trying to get it to come up.
I thought you were going to do the Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do they make sounds?
Well, the people who are being attacked by it do.
True. That's true. But ravens.
know.
You're Raven.
Oh, yeah.
What about you, Sasha?
I'm not sure. Nothing really jumps to mind.
Well, your little boy in Fairy Tale Town could scream and shriek with joy.
I suppose, yeah.
That's probably about as close as you're going to get with your whips.
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
I have to start some Halloween things at some point.
Yes, exactly. That's be the thing to do. For me,
Yeah.
I was instantly thinking that Alice could scream and shriek.
Oh, yeah.
Plus, lots of birds in my animal kingdom would shriek. So
Mhm.
that's an easy one for me. I'm sorry we missed these earlier in the alphabet, people. T is for tea kettler. The tea kettler, Urocyon ayugabosonia, is a fearsome critter from North American lumberjack tales originating in Minnesota and Wisconsin. Resembles a small stubby-legged dog with the ears of a cat. Makes a sound like a boiling tea kettle. So stitch on a project with a dog, a cat, or something that can walk backwards. We know what Laurie's going to do.
I think I'll wait for you to show yours, Lori.
No, she's not showing it. We
Oh,
already
not.
Oh, you're not showing.
as the
I
with the dog.
I'm pretty sure there's a dog in the Storybook Village.
There is. Yep. there
Yeah.
is. So you'll be double dipping that one. Well, I'm
Yes.
double dipping a different one. Very scary Halloween down the bottom. There's the dog.
Oh, he's so cute.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. This is great. I can double dip all these. All right. U is for Utbora. In medieval Iceland, times when mothers weren't able to afford to care for their newborns as they already had enough children, they would leave the babies out in the lava fields where they would eventually die. And it said the babies after death would turn into a ghost known as a Ubuttura. Appearance is that of a bird, a raven. So a project with a bird using floss in the color you think it would be. We're stealing your thunder, Laurie.
Yeah. Raven.
Never more.
Yeah.
Trying to think if I have anything that looks interesting on here. I think I'd have to just go with the color.
Go with the color.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to find, I actually can double dip nicely, and I'm going to show you again because in my strawberry fields, I mean, blackbird designs always have a black bird in it, but these blackbirds are actually blue. So maybe that would be a better color. I mean, it's got a bird in it, but it might be a Aurora color. Okay, V. V is for Vat Nageda. Poisonous pike, most poisonous fish in Iceland. Lives in the dark lakes and hates lights. It dies when it comes in contact with light. So stitch on a project with a source of life. Well, that double dips beautifully with those sun ones from before. So I don't know if we need to go over those. You've got Fantasia.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, so that's that one done. What have we got in Semisane this week? Working my way through the Jumanji boards. I'm having fun playing my simple version, and I've only got 1.5 boards to go, so that's really good. I'm loving that there's an actual goal to keep pushing me so I don't get bored and give up halfway through.
Yes.
It's Hobbit Day this week and astronomy. Anything jump to mind for either of them, Sasha?
Well, for the Hobbit, it just makes me think of the beautiful scenery and the rolling hills. So that would remind me of the scenery in Fantasia.
Plus, Mickey's a bit of a hobbit, isn't he? He's short with big feet.
He sure is.
Mouse Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Laurie?
I guess the gnome would be the closest thing to a hobbit-like creature, although I think they have totally different settings. Like gnomes are kind of underground and hobbits are kind of, I guess they put their house in the ground or in the earth. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. I have no idea. I don't do a lot of mythological creatures. The gnomes are kind of a one-off for me, so I don't know that I could. Maybe the nature scene, Stream at Darhaven would be some place a hobbit might like to visit. I'll share that really quick. Here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because to me, the scenery in those movies is so memorable. You know, I think that's a good.
And I don't
connection.
have anything really for Hobbit either. The closest I would go is my Among Us characters because they're really short and stout and little. And they also are flying around in spaceships. So, I guess I could do it that way. Lucky we don't have to do them all. And it's letter T for alphabet. Are you up to date with your alphabet, Laurie?
Not at all. I'm still in the middle of the alphabet.
Fair enough. You're not doing it, are you, Sasha?
I'm not.
I'm up to P.
Woo.
So I'm getting there. It will be done by the end of the year. What's happening in our other games? Laurie, anything to report in the other games we're playing?
Dynasty of Dragons, I imagine that we would be wrapping up round 7. She hasn't announced it, but it's been about 2 weeks. So maybe she'll announce it this week of when the round ends, but you still can stitch for pub items. And Vari's shop. So you can get some one-off items there. I think that's about it. And then
And she's put out a survey. So anyone who's in Dynasty, make sure you fill in the survey about what you'd like to do for October. It's going to be a special month-long event rather than the regular round.
Yep. Then do you want to talk about the newer group?
I'll get to that, yeah.
Mhm.
So the newest one that we've been joining in it with is Utopia, and it is a sort of a Dungeons and Dragons settlement style where we are gathering our resources to get ready to start on our immigration to another country. And it's good, but there's lots happening. So we've actually split into 2, which is confusing my brain, but we've got some people doing a bit of a search through the city, looking for supplies and people to help us. My group have scored some militia, which is going to help guard our settlement when we move. So that's going to come in handy. And just stockpiling on weapons and horses, getting ready to step off onto our next part of the journey. What about pirate ship, Sasha? What's happening in the pirate ship?
Well, we had a pretty big mishap in our pirate ship. We managed to damage our ship and our crew members were all injured, and then we lost half of our supplies. So we're currently trying to pick up the pieces. Oh, and we got lost too. We got blown back to the beginning of our map. So
so they're really slowing us down.
Chaos reigns.
Chaos reigns in the pirate ship.
Yes.
What about in Crystal Academy, Laurie?
We are finishing, well, we're about to start a new spell study, but we're finishing scrying and self-improvement. That ends on tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or do we have another week to go on that? Yeah, we have another week to go on that.
Oh yeah.
And then because they last 2 weeks. Sorry. And then we're starting a new spell study on tomorrow at noon Eastern time, I believe it is.
I think it's our last one.
I think so.
Yeah, we're getting really close, yes. So I can tell you what that is, or if you're in the game, you definitely kind of know what that is. I am just not, I'm drawing a blank because that's just what I do, because I'm not
sure what the name of it is, but it's the last one. Yeah.
Yes, it's the last one.
The last repeat of the pieces we had to declare.
Yeah.
So that's been good, I think, revisiting the pieces.
Yeah.
And who knows what's going to happen after that. I guess we get final exams and things coming up, and yeah. Survival of the Stitchiest is keeping us on our toes as well. Loki has made an appearance and he is randomly getting back at us for stealing the mink, and he's firing a lightning bolt at us at each settlement randomly, and they've got 24 hours to stitch 2,000 stitches to not get burnt by the lightning bolt. We decided that we would take a guess in the settlement I'm in and go on a hunt, because we had lots of stitching. It's a Sunday and everyone had lots of stitches to do. So we went on a hunt, and Loki decided to attack our dice rolls. So one lady rolled a 4, and that meant that she then had to do an extra 500 stitches. Because she rolled a 4. I rolled a 6, which meant we got 10% taken off the total damage. So that was a good thing. So yeah, fun things ahead, just working through that. Any others I've forgotten about?
So you think you can stitch?
Oh yeah.
We're currently, we just finished leg 3, but it really doesn't matter so much. Like some people have just finished leg 1 and are on to leg 2, or in the middle of leg 2 and going on to 3. It's a really fun game though, and Heather's done an amazing job of having background on all of the roadblocks and the detours, really interesting things, and she's not picking the obvious places. So I'm learning stuff every step of the race. So
And it's
yeah.
really good to be constantly learning. It's really, really great.
yes.
All right, we probably missed some, but that's okay. Let's move on to NoNewStarts because all three of us are in NoNewStarts and there's quite a bit going on. First of all, currently this week, we are going to roll over to Libra in the Zodiac Challenge.
Mhm.
So happy birthday in advance to Laurie, who is a Libra.
Mhm.
So it is an air sign. What would you do for an air sign? Remember, these are just stitch on anything related to the prompt. No counting, no time, just do whatever you feel like. Just show progress.
Got it. I would do stormy for an air sign just because it's obvious that air is influencing this whole piece.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I would work on Storybook Village because the fabric is dyed to look like a cloudy sky.
I haven't given any thought to these yet whatsoever, so I'm just having a quick look for air. Ooh. Air is probably the one thing that's harder for me to think up. Again, I'm thinking sky, clouds. Oh, I've got a great one. What about airmail
Oh yeah.
with the plane?
Yes.
Postcards for airmail. Okay, the symbol is scales. Now, we haven't given any specifications about, like, obviously not many people have scales, although Lady Justice has scales. So if you've got Lady Justice, you can actually stitch the scales. But I would think that something you can relate to scales.
That's hard.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure that I have anything that would.
Well, I don't know if this is approved, and I know I'm an admin, but I haven't run this through the marker. But I'm thinking fish scales.
Ah.
They're
Yeah.
scales.
Yeah. I could do some fish scales, I think.
But if you've got something in balance, you know, scales are about balancing.
I was kind of thinking about
Yeah.
this because the arches all look very balanced and maybe, and that they're in pairs also.
I think if you give your explanation, you know, it's going to be interesting to see what Martha comes up with for that. Okay, an opal or a pink tourmaline. Do we need me to look up what they are?
Nope. I have I think the perfect thing maybe. So in Stormy, I am using opalescent thread, and that's opal. So all around the leaves and the branches to kind of signify like shaking or wind is this opalescent thread. So that's what I would use.
I'm actually thinking the pink, and pink tourmaline is a stone of love, compassion, emotion, healing, and self-love. And I'm actually thinking of my Alice because she has that big pink flowing ribbon that's in bright colors of the tourmaline.
It's like a pale pink, right?
No, it's a
or
mixture.
it's a deeper pink.
It's from the pale. There's I've got pictures here. Hold on. Let me share what I'm looking at there. It's all sorts of pinks.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, then I would probably use my pansy wreath and the pink pansies in
that
there.
would work. Okay, and the last thing is marigold.
I think I'd probably still use my wreath, the yellow flowers.
I think your wreath gets you out of a lot of troubles there.
Not for too much longer. It's almost finished.
Yeah, I would do the language of flowers, and there's lots of yellow flowers in there.
You're lucky with that one too. What do you feel about this one? Could I say they're marigolds there?
Yes.
Because they don't quite look like sunflowers. So I think I could go with Tolden Garden for marigolds.
I think so.
All right, so that's what's happening with this week for No New Starts. And in case you haven't noticed, the No New Starts has launched for 2022. So we have put out all the rules and regulations and are getting lots of good questions on our question threads. So if you're interested, then check it out, No New Starts 2022, and you can see if it's something you want to do. The main thing is that there is 3 streams this year. No New Starts, which means no new starts. So lots of people want to try that and try doing no new starts. The second stream is 22 in 22, where you focus on having 22 projects, and you can start new ones at any time during the year to get your number up to 22. Does not have to have 200 stitches until you start it, and you don't have to even declare what it is at the beginning of the year. You just have to declare that spot number 11 is a new start. And the third one is Work Your WIPs, where you can work on all the WIPs you've currently got, and you can get some free starts and earn free starts by participating in all the other fun games. So which one of those are you thinking of doing, Sasha?
Well, I am currently signed up for the 22 and 22, although as I'm thinking about it, I might actually want to switch.
Yeah.
So I have 7 WIPs currently. So, and I think I might finish as many as 3 or 4 of them before the end of this year. So I'm going to need to start something just to have something to work on. But I was thinking maybe even Work Your WIPs, because I like the idea of earning starts, because I have so few WIPs that if I stick with the 22 and 22, it won't feel like I have to earn those starts.
Yes.
So
So
I'm still thinking about that.
I like that idea because it's what works for you and what motivates you.
Yeah.
There's an option there for everybody. I like that idea of the earning, and I'm the same. I don't like, in my brain I'm going to be doing no new starts, but I like the idea of achieving it. I like the fact that I've earned one, so I can start it if I want to because I earned it.
Right.
What about you, Laurie?
I'm going to do 22 and 22. I have 15 WIPs currently. I think I will finish maybe 3, definitely maybe 4 before the end of the year. But I want to work differently on my WIPs in 22 than I have in the past. And I want to get closer to being a monogamous stitcher. And for that, I am only going to call up in 22 and 22 about 5 or 6 WIPs, and they all are going to be in a category, because if I'll have a one BAP, one large, one medium, one small. And then I'm similar to you, Sasha. I want to earn a new start, or earn the right to work on a different WIP and not spread myself so thin over so many WIPs. And so if I just get really good progress, I'll actually get a finish, And so that's my idea. And kind of we've talked about the tissue box effect. Like one of them, I have the gnomes, and there's 12 of them. So I'm just going to have a gnome in one of those slots. And the next, when I finish one gnome, I put another gnome in, that kind of thing. I have multiple heids. So I'm just going to pick one haid, and I'm just going to work on that one. If I finish that haid, then I can bring in another haid. So there you go.
Yeah, awesome. Well, as I said, I'm thinking of, my brain is doing no new starts, because by the time I get through the 12 days of Christmas event in December, I will have started enough. And to help me with my planning and to help, I don't like having 50 million either. So I started this year with 96. I've done quite a few finishes and I wanted to get it down. I want to actually do WIP Go next year, which I haven't done before. And I want to have a couple of boards to give me the focus so that I can focus and get some solid work, because I really enjoyed the work on the zombie run this year, getting that consistent focus. So if I was to have the WIP Go boards, that'll give me 6. If I have 3 WIP Go boards, which is 72 projects, I want to do knock it over, which is knock them out of my list. I want to finish all those ones that are nearly finished in October. So No New Starts has a Knock It Over event. You can start now. Nothing wrong with starting early. The whole point is work on those whips, knock them over, knock them out of the park, get rid of them. So in Knock It Over, I've set myself a goal for 18. I have 18 whips that I could actually get, but they're nearly done, Sasha. They're nearly there.
Yeah.
So if I focus on those 18 plus my zombie run ones, it gets me up to 21, which is what I've been doing anyway the last few months, focusing on 21, because I was testing out the 22 and 22 idea. And I'm loving it. Just narrows my vision. So if I knock out those 18, then I have 14 spaces I can start new things. And again, I'm gonna have a tissue box in my brain that when I go to select my new starts, I know there's lots I want to play with the pretty things, but I'm going to categorize them, and so that I'll have my 14 to fill up the whip go. Then when I finish it, I'll replace it with the next one, like a sub list. That way I don't have to get to 96. And then I think that will help me not be stressed about it, because no one who has 96 whips is happy about it. Yeah, so that's what I've got planning. So so Knock It Over. Do you have any whips you think you could knock it over? Probably not, Sasha.
Yes, I am almost done with Pansy Wreath. So I think that one will be done very soon. And then I'm about halfway done with the Hogwarts crest already. So I think I may be able to finish that one.
Yeah. Well,
pretty soon.
If you don't finish in Knock It Over, we are going to continue it done in December for the first 2 weeks of December at the end of the challenge. So try and knock it over. And if you don't do that, you can done it in December.
So you get two swings at it.
If you need to, yes. What about you, Laurie?
I have 3 that I think around the world, the girls, I am on the border. The border's almost done, and it's just back stitching. And I think if I just had a day or two just back stitching, it'll go really fast. Then I have the bee comes. All I have to do is like the flower in kind of the left corner of that, and it's done. And it's a lot of open space, so that will be a fast one. And then maybe grounding force. I've been trying to fit that into a lot of prompts in the month of September. So I think by the time I get to October, it's an easy finish. It's really just the border. I've gotten the house out of the way. So yeah. So hopefully 3.
Yay. Well, that's good. Yeah. So if you're in No New Starts 2021, come and join us in the Knock It Over event. Sign up now, put your goal, see how you go. That's what it's about. Let's knock them over. Let's get rid of them out of the list. And if you're like me, it's just to make room for some new ones. Otherwise, it might just be to get the progress done. All right. Well, that's us done for the week. Bit of a long one this week, but thanks for joining us, Sasha. And
Thank
Laurie,
you.
of course, as always. And we will look forward to seeing you guys next week. Happy stitching, everyone.